from the southern mountains, Headwaters, a part of Appalachia.
They used to have dances at the houses, you know. Years ago, I never heard tell of a dance hall then. And they'd come in, a bunch of them, dance, play music. Maybe 3 or 4 would get up there and catch hands, run around, and then turn loose and grab the other and swing, swap sides. They'd work all day, but if they could get working on the farm, I reckon, and things, and they'd come in sometimes at night, maybe once a week. You'd have it at somebody's house. I have walked 2 and 3 miles on the mountain for a day. I like to be asked and I like to ask. Yeah, I have just run up somebody I ain't never seen before, say, how about dancing? Jump up and go right at it. Some of them say, no, I can't dance. Struck one night, asked her to dance. She said, I can't dance. I said, yeah, you can. No, I can't. I said, well, I'll show you. She said, I don't know what to do. I said, just watch the lady in front of you. She falls down, you fall down too. I just like to dance, like to go, like the music, like the people.
You mix and mingle. You swing your partner. There's bodily contact. That's so foreign to most American life. We're afraid someone might touch us. We're nervous about that. And yet at a square dance, all of our taboos about touch break down. we feel free to do that with our neighbors. So to me, this is a ritual which is reenacting something very important. It's a sense of community, but it's a community that's real. You can touch it, you can see it. You are connected physically to these people. Community is not just a word you toss around, it's something that you live and experience through the form of the dance.
It's been to the old tradition years, even back when I was small. I remember people could go on a visit and they'd get an old banjo or fiddle and beat on it. Some was pretty good. And that's been, well, I'm almost 60, and I can remember back when I was about 6. Well, the music is usually run in the family, but the dance is just a community. But there's a lot of musicians, good musicians come out of Carroll County. Well, around Christmas time, about 2 nights on a stray, we'd have we'd frolic all night, 2 nights on a stray. And when I was about 16 or 17, I was working at a sawmill, off-bearing. And we had them all-night frolics. And the next day, I'd be off-bearing, and that saw would sound like it was playing Step Back Sydney.
All your flat-footers, front and center.
Anybody in Flatfoot just get out there and be natural, do your own thing. Hit the toe and the heel both.
The toe and the heel.
And you can single out, but a lot of them tip the toe and the heel, back and forth. Pick your feet and pat a tune.
Get your partner, let's get into another square day.
Some places now they have like a Western, a little different what we do. They talk it out. You swing yours and I'll swing mine and all that, that usually rhymes up, But I prefer the dances like we have out there, once you get started, most of them knows. And the one that don't know the dances, they usually follow the one that do, They just mostly interested in dancing with the other partners. Anyway, when you get to a dancing with one partner, you go to another and try to get as many partners dancing as you can in till you give out. And I usually see that they're getting tired, and then I'll close her down.
Turn them a little, Freddie. Holding up the line.
We have to be really thoughtful about what we assume about tradition, particularly what we assume about tradition in the mountains, because once we begin to look at any particular cultural practice in the mountains, we find that it's not nearly as old or as traditional or as uninfluenced by popular art forms as people ordinarily assume. So I think we have to be careful about that. People outside the mountains tend to think of the mountains as a place where people hold on to their own cultural forms. But what I keep seeing is that at every period, people in the mountains have tried their best to get in touch with the popular art forms that were out there, to learn those songs, to learn those dances. I think we have to have a more complex notion of the kind of interchanging cultural dynamic that people have always been involved in the mountains. When they, when the settlement school ladies came in the 1890s and turn of the century, they thought everybody should play dulcimers or everybody should sing unaccompanied ballads or whatever. What people in the mountains were doing were getting hold of Sears and Roebuck catalogs and ordering everything that they thought they could possibly make a tune on. There is a conservative side of it. There is a side that wants to hold on and preserve, but that's only a part of it.
When I was a child, they had carpet, they took it up and rolled it back and moved furniture out. Everything went out of the room. We danced all night. Four-handed drill, and the main dance was a back step. They call it the back step. And it was the hardest to do, is that back step. You wasn't a good dancer if you didn't do the back step. My feet's slipping in this grass. I can't hold them where I want them. But that's the way it is, the back step. Your toe come right back and under your heel. Charleston come in when we lived in Lookout, Kentucky. And they showed 2 steps once a week at the theater. My sister and me went that night. We went some way we got to the movie. They showed the steps on the screen, and you had a reading under it. It was silent pictures. It was silent, And we learned 147, I believe it's 147 steps of Charleston.
Tradition is constantly changing. There's a conservative part. There are aspects, and that's the challenge, is to find them. There are aspects that do persevere over time, but then there are constant variations and new contributions, which over the course of time will be picked up and become traditional, and then maybe drop out of tradition. So it's a very concept.
It's a lovely building. They have a stage. They've got a snack bar, and they just come to see each other, to visit and talk. And it's good exercise. Of course, Mr. Kirby Smith's a good dancer. He can do a lot of different things. And Gene Sayers and his wife, they're custodians down at Wallace School. And they're an excellent dance couple, and equally as well by themselves. But they just seem like it's just made with them, They don't put any effort into it. They could just dance right on and on and on. And then, of course, there's a lot of them like me that sort of jump up and down. But nobody hardly dances the same. And a big number of them, not all of them, but a great number of them haven't been dancing but 2 or 3 years. And it's just amazing. Of course, I can see because I'm up front. It's amazing that the improvement, in their dances. Of course, now some have took lessons, and some can waltz now, and 2-step, and do several forms of flat footing.
If you're not going to clog, I always teach them, don't lift your feet off the floor if you can keep from it. If the surface is smooth enough to where you can, scoot your feet on the floor. And especially when you're swinging, or if you do a 2-step, which they always do 2 steps around here between square dances. They always do 2 steps. Always leave your feet on the floor and never pick them off the floor. And that way you don't step on your partner's feet and she doesn't step on your feet. And if you don't touch each other, you can hug or whatever later. Be a lady or be a gentleman when you're on the dance floor. And people will appreciate you, and it looks good and it feels good. Is that wrong or is that right?
We have a Pocket Mountain Special.
far as I can ever remember, they've always had a square dance group here at the back of our house in Abingdon. But that was 45, 50 miles from where I lived. And the roads were not very good. And not everybody had an automobile or a truck. And I've ridden over here a lot of times in the back of a pickup truck. 2-lane road. Boy, I was really doing something. We were going over to our house and dance. Some professional caller calling. That was really something. I don't know necessarily that they called it colonial square dancing. I've always heard it referred to as that. Of course, this could have been since the Western square dancing came into being. And of course, Western is totally different from this that I call Appalachian square dancing or colonial square dancing. And sometimes we call it old-time square dancing.
Everybody do a little soft shoe the first jig through on the old corkscrew. And the next jig do like the first jig do. Now break and swing, you corner ladies. Then your own honey babies. Then promenade. Watch that, J.D. Follow him right down the middle. Oh, yeah, you're looking good. Take it up that way as far as you can. And right back through. Just go left and the ladies right. You work all day and you dance all night.
I think everybody looked forward to just coming and just for fellowship. And I think that everybody's hungry for fellowship. I lost my mother the 1st of May. And, you know, I never dreamed that any of the folk could come to dancing would come to the wake, you know, down to the funeral home. And practically all of them were there. And, you know, they sent flowers and words of condolence and comfort. And I think people are as congenial as they ever were. And I think the reason that they don't show it is because, you know, we don't visit. But I think this has sort of overcome some of them.
Waltz across Texas with you in my arms. Waltz across Texas with you. Like a story book ending, I'm lost in your charms. Like a waltz across Texas with you. Oh yeah, thank you, Tom.
I was at a senior citizens down in Clinchicot. I hadn't danced in about 40 years. There was a lady come in and she said, I don't think Christians ought to dance. And I don't know, it just done something to me. The fire hall down there. I guess I went the first night they started. I think I did. And I thought that would be something nice, something, you know, to help the community. Now, I really did. I thought it would help. And I went all the time. You know, there's a Nob's down there dancing. Well, I didn't care for that. Nob dances she wants to, and she don't, that's all right too. So we had a cakewalk. Well, maybe somebody danced going around, and maybe somebody just stepped out of line and started dancing, and it just started from that. And that's where it really started from. We had a cakewalk, they call it. But we always had a lot of cakes. We made money, and it made good money down there. it just got bigger and bigger. We bought 2 new fire trucks. We didn't even have a fire truck here for a long time, but anyhow, we got rescue squads and fire trucks and all that now. We had a hard time getting them, but we got them.
You see all over the coal field kind of dancing, unless it's a real drinking honky-tonk place, will be whole families. So they come with a social group, and then they have the freedom, because they're part of a community, to be this individual sort of dancing within that. Just flat-footing. Whether it's a real release of tensions in a stressful culture, or, you know, there'd be a number of things we could probably say about that. But certainly the use of dance for this personal expression seems to be more so in that kind of dancing.
When the day they come out on a strike, I said, well, I just might as well to get into something. I did. I started dancing. I got with these boys here. I like the way they pick and play. You can keep up with their music pretty good. And I just got interested. Do what I can, all I can to help. A lot of people love to see square dancing, flat footing, whatever you want to dance. A lot of people love that. And it draws a crowd.
What do you think about while you're dancing?
Well, I think when I dance, I like to get a hold of them scabs and stomp on them a little bit. I go on the picket line every day, and I came down here and danced at night, and that eased me to get rid of a lot of my problems that I've had through the day. It's in me, I reckon. It's in the bloodstream. It is a protest, absolutely. Music, and showing the people that these coal miners is not as dumb as Oldham and them gets up on TV and says that we're hoodlums and we are dumb and we ain't got sense enough to do nothing. But we have got the talent. That is the talent that we've got. Making music, running coal, or whatever, mechanicking, or that's what I do. I'm a mechanic at the mines. All of it binds into one. All of it. It ain't what's the matter, it's what's inside.